Hey, hello, and I am the ocean of the oceans, Deep Woo. Welcome to the Deep Woo channel. If you're new here, we do the deepest of woo. We have experiencers here. Please be nice to them. If you're um, wondering about things and just sort of poking around in the supernatural and paranormal world, you might find a lot of interesting shows here. Um, but really, my teachings are not just for beginners, really. Uh, you're going to have to catch up if you don't believe in magic. That's okay, and paranormal phenomena and stuff. That's okay, but just be nice to the experiencers who do, because I do give lessons in various techniques of doing things and in an esoteric way. And um, I am shamanic, not a ritual magic user, really. No, I don't do high ritual magic. I don't do voodoo. I don't do. Um, not. I am not Wiccan, although I have been. I've tried being Wiccan. Not exactly Wiccan because that's also too codified for me. I had to be a shaman because it's pretty wide open. It's basically I do what my deeper, wiser self tells me, okay, to do, which is actually me, which is actually God, because I'm God and so are you. And that's my belief right there. That's the belief I am working on. I am God, so are you. We're all God. So, if you want to call that my religion, I don't know. I don't think that that has a particular name, but um, so I remind people that they are divine. You have a spark of God in you. You are divine. And so, therefore, you are divine creators. And therefore, you can do things, um, create things, in a non physical way. Okay. So, hello, Linda. Hello, Gemini. And let's see, anybody else? No, looks like it's just Gemini and Linda right now. Yeah, only Gemini and Linda have found me right now. Okay. So basically, we're going to talk about a lot of things that have been going on in this last week since I seen you last. Whoa. Since I saw you last, lots of wow. I mean, it's been a big, and remember the last time, if you were here, if you're a regular watching this, you might have caught that last time I saw a portal open in front of me, and I decided to go through it, and it kind of just swallowed me. And I found out that actually there were 4 days of a portal opening, and it's closing today. So I don't know exactly when, but yes, it was one of the ascension portals was open until today. So I actually did see that portal with my own eyes, or my own third eye, and I didn't know that was coming. I didn't have that. I mean, I didn't read about. Oh, sorry, Cowboy. Cowboy is on the floor today, staring up at me. He likes to lay on his flat on his back and stare at me sometimes. Sorry, baby. I moved that and it scared him. Something dropped and it scared him. Anyway, Um, we did have one of the ascension portals. We had, let's see, we've got 5 planets aligning. Let's see, can I remember them? Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Uranus. Hey, Uranus is lining up with those other 4. Ah, go ahead. Anyway, okay, thank you, Linda. Yeah, okay. So it's been a big week. Plus, we have had Neptune go from Capricorn, where it has been for a long time, into finally Aquarius. So, and then it's going to stay there for a while. It looks like, I'm not sure how to take what I'm getting. A lot of kind of conflicting information on exactly how this is going to go, because the way that the article I read, several articles were giving me dates that don't work well with each other. Like it's coming in March 20 something to something, and then it's back out, and then it comes in January to the March 28th, and then it comes. Wait a minute, and this is all in the same year. Wait. What are you talking about? The dates are all mixed up, so I'm not exactly sure, but it's supposed to be now. Now, all I can think of is when I told you that I felt like we were hitting the leading edge of D5. I think that's what we were feeling, because now the age of Aquarius is a D5 event, and we are now not just in the dawning of the age of Aquarius, we are actually in the body of it. So we're no longer on the periphery and or in the dawning. We are in the age of Aquarius, actually, because of this planetary movement here. So this is the gist I took out of this. So we have gone fully into the age of Aquarius now, which means we are on the property of remember, I was likening this to going to an amusement park like Cedar Point or something, and there would be this road that you would, oh, turn here if you didn't mean to go to the park. It was like, but then keep going straight ahead if you're going to the park. It was really weird because I've seen corollaries to going to the park. So we're on the park property now, if I may extend the analogy. We're on the park property now. Proper. Yes. So we're no longer on our way. We are smacking into it. Okay. We are on the property. We're not through the gate yet, but we are on the property, so to speak. Hey, Pam, how you doing? So basically, now things are going to move a lot faster. And I told you this spring was going to rock and roll. And it already has. I mean, it just turned spring, and all of a sudden, boom, bang, bada boom. And we also had a very close object come within the orbit of the moon, in between the moon and the Earth. And here's the weird part. I think I heard somewhere that was going to happen, but I wasn't really worried about it because it wasn't due to hit us. However, anything that going that fast past, as close as it came, and I mean it came really not, I mean, about halfway between us and the moon. That's not very far away. Even though it was just the size of they say of a box truck about. We've had bigger ones go by. But for some reason, yesterday, I was trying to get out and trying to get out, and finally, around 3:45, I dragged myself out there, outside, and said, I'm going to sit outside and get some sun. And I started singing, and it got dark. It was raining off and on. It got dark on one side of the sky and light on the other side of the sky. And it was nice weather, but very windy and just weird, just, very strange, changeable, mixed weather, right? And then some guy comes, and I'm singing. I'm singing. I had just finished singing the rebirth song, the Earth rebirth song. And a guy gets out of his car and comes by and he goes, Did you know that right now there's an asteroid going really close to the Earth, between the moon and the Earth right now? And I'm like, there is? Oh, cool. And I looked at my phone, and it was exactly the time that they said, about 3:50 p.m. So I was kind of called out there to see this. And I'm like, wow, this is great. So I was out there singing as it went past. Um, and so I sat out there a while longer. It rained a little bit and then it stopped raining, and then it rained a little bit and then it stopped raining. Just a few sprinkles, it stopped raining. It was just really mixed up weird weather, okay? And the wind would blow and then it'd be calm. It was just totally weird. Hey, Paradox Fossils, how you doing? So, I didn't know that's why I was called out there, but obviously that's what it was called out there, is so I could be there for that. So, I was singing to the asteroid, I guess. Uh, um, Now this asteroid is supposed to come back in about 3 years and make an even closer pass. And, well, the sky was pretty mixed up. If it makes a closer pass, I don't know. It's probably going to do something to the weather, at least. But there were very strong winds. I mean, the wind sounded so crazy, even afterwards, even when I came in here, before I went out, and when I came in here, I mean, and I saw today the wind had taken off a piece of our building. So it was really wild. It was really wild out there. So let's see who all is here. It's Gemini and Linda and Pam and Paradox Fossils. Okay, so wow, I gotta say, I now that I've seen that, I'm not sure why I had to be there for that and sing, but I just do what my intuition says to do. But yeah, I saw it was cool. I saw the portal open just when they said the portal, when I read back. Yeah, the portal's open for 4 days and today's the last day. Well, then that means that, yeah, I saw it open that night with you guys. Wow, that's pretty cool. Um, so we've been having all this stuff happen. I mean, we've had, and then like I said, we're now properly in the age of Aquarius because of this thing going on with Pluto, and Pluto is like the cosmic cop, okay? He unearths and roots out. He's like a detective. He unearths hidden things and brings everything up to light. And he's also was the god of death in, I believe it's the Roman pantheon. So Pluto was like a dark god of death, not evil, but yeah, his role is, I guess, like a cosmic cop. So he's going through the USA charts, and he's also going through, the whole world is going to be affected by this, the whole world. And he's particularly making, I hear, some very interesting passages through, we're having basically in this country a return, a Pluto return. Those are grueling, okay? But everything's going to come to light. So now, yeah, eclipses. Yeah, it probably is. Oh, Paradox is one of your a longtime friends. Yeah, Paradox been here before. I know that. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, my fibro has been acting up too. There's a lot of things changing, shifting around. Well, Pluto is, sorry, Pluto's going to be around doing stuff for a while, but it's stuff that needs to happen. Pluto is actually going to collapse the corruption. All this corruption that needs to go, that we've been saying, this has got to go. Well, guess what? It's going to go. Pluto does that. It will upset your apple cart. The tower will fall. Okay. Pluto, if you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, Pluto comes through and you're going to be busted. Okay. So it's actually a good thing for us, not a good thing for some of the rulers of the world right now. Because if they're doing something they should, or some of these corporations or some other people, if they're doing something they shouldn't be doing, Pluto's going to bring it up to our attention. And then he's going to knock over their little Jenga tower, okay? So it's actually a very good thing. And that's why I was getting death in the cards. It isn't funny. It's necessary. It's, well, I've lost a lot too. I don't have a family. I don't have a physical family, you know? I had my own Pluto return some years ago. It's very rough. It will strip away things. But to make way for something else, for a rebirth. We've been asking for it. We've been asking for this, literally asking for help with this, with our corrupt governments. Well, guess what? They're going to go. Our corrupt system. Did we want to see the end of Clown World? We're going to see it. Clown World is ending. Clown World and all of the corrupt stuff that's going on is going to be brought up and it's going to be kicked. Okay, it's going to be broken. It's going to be, the tower is coming down. Okay, so it's not bad for us. Hey, Michelle Canham Free. Well, and you know what? I can see where they would look at it that way. I can see that. Well, if you want to look at it that way. I don't really look at it that way, but I guess it kind of makes sense. It is a Pluto return. Of course, that's kind of odd because Pluto, being who he is, a death god. But like I said, also a cop. So, and a detective. And with Pluto, there's also this idea of hidden wealth, buried wealth, that kind that kind of thing. So, and remember, I don't make this happen. I'm just reporting. So don't get upset with me. Hey, James Ortiz. Don't get upset with me. I'm just telling you what's happening. But it's actually going to come out good for us because we've been needing for this to happen for a long time. We actually been waiting for this. I've way back in the beginning, like, oh geez, in the beginning of maybe 2 years ago, we found out this was on the way. I'm there like, oh great, it can't get here soon enough to suit me because we're going to see the collapse of structures that don't deserve to be here, don't deserve to exist. And we've been waiting for that. And we've been asking for that and praying for that and begging for that. And so here it is. And you don't have to be worried if you're not involved in corruption, okay? If you're not doing anything wrong, he's a lot more fair than some places on earth here. He's a lot more fair than that. If you're not doing anything, you're going to end up being okay. Yeah, yeah. Well, a lot of people will be leaving. Sorry, but they will. That's, and they are. And if you look, all you have to do is look at the media. People are dropping over. A lot of them because they got the experiment. They are dropping over. People are leaving. Some of them are probably in PCs. Some of them are not. I don't know. I There's going to be a lot more. Um, and some people are going to be leaving just because it's time. Uh, Frankly, as scary, I keep saying, as scary as it looks, don't be afraid. What's happening now has to happen for us to have the kind of world we want. It's kind of a cliche to say, April showers bring May flowers, but it's kind of like that. You kind of have to have things fall in order for other things to be born. You have to have some things die. And we have a lot of corruption that has to die. So it's actually a good thing. And try to see it that way. And don't give any energy to the negative side. If somebody tries to scare you with this, don't allow yourself to be frightened because it's actually a good thing. Well, you know what? I could direct you to Billy Carson because I've tried to explain this before and people sometimes get really mad at me. I direct you to Billy Carson. He talks about the same stuff I do. And there's actually more than one God in the Bible. They just smushed them into one God. So it looks like one God, but the God of the Old Testament and the God of Jesus, who is Jesus's father, the one you call Jesus, who Jesus wasn't his name was Yeshua. the one that Yeshua said was his father, they're two different guys. And that's pretty obvious if you look at what the Bible was taken from much earlier writings from Samaria and other places. So it was actually, the Bible is largely plagiarized. And people get mad at me for saying that, but it's just the truth. When you really look at it, you find King James Bible is, I figured it out, Pam, when I was 5 reading the Bible, because I grew up in a Christian home. I read very early. I decided I was going to read the whole Bible. What I saw was a bunch, and I still feel this way to this day. They tried to beat it out of me. The gods of the Bible, Christianity as it stands today, yes, there was a real Yeshua. That exists. Yes, God exists, but God is all of us. There is an overarching God that is not the God of the Bible. And basically, I figured it out when I was a kid. They got very mad at me. Christianity, as well as all of the other religions on the earth, are cargo cults. Nothing but cargo cults. That's all they are. If you don't know what a cargo cult is, you can look it up. Basically, people from another place came here. They were very advanced. Beings here were not very advanced. They looked like gods. They were taken for gods. They came here and said, okay, you're going to do it our way, and made us do it their way. And warred among themselves, just like people war among themselves. And they probably taught us how to make war. I have a feeling we didn't make war before they showed up. We probably didn't have war as a concept until they showed up. And then they made all of these religious beliefs spring up because you had to pacify these beings that were very powerful. And I can't go into that whole long story now. But Billy Carson has a video basically saying, is the God of the Bible really Satan? Well, and he makes a pretty good case. The evil guy, the evil God, he was obviously evil. He wanted the Israelites to what? He wanted his chosen people to go in, and he wanted them to kill every man, woman, child, sometimes even the cattle, except if you need wives, you can take all the virgins with you and enslave them and rape them and whatever. It was pretty harsh, and they were doing land grabs all the time at the behest of the evil version, the evil God in the Old Testament. And I'm sorry, but he was evil. To our way of thinking now, not very many people would be able to say, if you're not hypnotized, you could read that, just read it as a book and say, man, this dude was evil. Okay? There were some good guys too, though. There were some that actually cared about us. So that was Inky's line, supposedly. But some of them cared about us. Some of them wanted to see us dead. Wanted to either use us and abuse us or see us as dead. So they didn't care about how we felt about it. We were just pawns for a long, long time. So you sure didn't want to see the Kraken. Yeah. So basically, that is what I thought when I read it. When I was 5 and I could see this. I was 5, 6, 7 years old. It took me a while to read the whole thing. And they're telling me about, and Jesus is the peace and love and blah 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 and eternal life and everything. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, eternal life, but I see people die who are Christians all the time. What do you mean? Oh, eternal life, the afterlife, eternal life. But we're eternal life anyway. We live eternally anyway. Because in my mind, it was obvious to me we're eternal. Doesn't everybody know that? I guess they don't know that. Well, they didn't know that. Some people had been convinced that they weren't eternal, that you had to do something. Or, oh my gosh, we're eternal souls. You don't want to end up in hell. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There is no, God didn't make hell. There's nowhere you can find it in the Bible. God never made hell. Where do they get this hell concept? If hell exists, it's something people made or something. But God didn't make it. God didn't make hell. It's not in there. So, all of the crap surrounding this religion, and I knew that, and the thing is, I knew that Yeshua was real, although I didn't know that was his real name at the time. That was, well, I wasn't sure. Actually, I asked at one point, I said, if you are real, please prove it to me. Well, it turns out the Yeshua was real. But the evil God of the Old Testament was not his dad. No. So it took a long, long time for me to figure it all out, trying to keep myself alive and sane in the midst of, my mother became hyper Christian. Oh my gosh, what an illness. I was barraged 24/7 when I was there 24/7. She had these religious programs on, and I could see through every one of them. And that was hellish, because they would tell you about it. You do the wrong thing. First they'd talk sweet to you. Oh, come here, come here, come here. Then they'd do the hellfire part. Go, but if you don't do this, you're going to go to hell forever. And it was awful. Let's see. So let's see. I missed something. Well, you're lucky. Because good. Don't get the third and don't get the boosters. The more of this crap you have in you, the more chance you have of dying from a clot. Okay? They're calling it, people in the know are calling it the clot shot. Yeah. Well, I have also, I have to remember I have abilities, but that's why I'm sharing what I know, is I've managed to get those abilities online. But there have been many times when I've been threatened, and in many ways people tried to exercise me. Honestly, I don't mean exercise like at a gym. I had a lifetime subscription to a gym at one point, but no, I mean exercise. I mean, they thought, how could I think? I had to get born again and again and again. They it must not have taken. She's still thinking. you know, and I couldn't say it because if I try to say it, then I was evil. And maybe I was a witch. Maybe I was putting spells on people. Somebody got in their heads I was putting spells on people. All kinds of things because I didn't buy the bullshit. I read the book. I read the passages you weren't supposed to read. See, that's the thing. Yes. Oh, God. Oh, my God. So, not all of them are the same. However, the more of them you have, the more chance you have of getting the clots, it looks like. And clots are why we're seeing people drop in front of us. They'll be right in the middle of doing a program and drop. They'll be right in the middle of playing ball on a court and drop. They'll be right in the middle of flying a plane and suddenly they're out. Um, that's one of the reasons we've been having these plane crashes. And a lot of things are going to happen strictly because people got the clot shot and they're just suddenly going to die and stuff is going to happen. When the coroners take them, open them up and try to drain them, they find these really weird, wormy looking clots. And the material's sort of like worms, sort of like worm material, they say. I keep telling you, it's a parasite. Now, the latest cutting edge is saying it's actually a nanoparasite. That's why all of the antiparasitic stuff works, is because it's a parasite. That's why they had to make it look really bad. They called the stuff that could cure it horse paste. If I were you, I'd keep some in my back pocket just in case. I'd keep some in my medicine closet. Before they're starting to make they're trying to make laws now where farmers can't get animal antibiotics without a veterinarian because forever they've been able to get antibiotics at the feed stores and stuff. What if they decide that you can't get ivermectin? Get some ivermectin, have it on hand just in case. Because that stuff does work. That's one of the things that does work. And also, exactly what Trump told you. Hydroxychloroquine, was it? Yeah, that works too. Yeah, everything that they told you was horrible and bad. No, you can't have it. Hydroxychloroquine's how they completely eliminated it in Haiti. They cured everybody in Haiti that got it. So he was actually telling the truth. He didn't lie. So, but they kept this from us. See, Pluto's going to bring this out, and it's already bringing it out. Ouchie Fauci's already under a lens now. This is what Pluto's going to do. He's going to bring all this crap up for people to see. That's what this planet does. Okay? So, yeah, they want to take everything that we need. Oh dear. Yeah, like more gallons. Yeah. Horse paste, ivermectin. Ivermectin will do it. Hydroxychloroquine will do it. Is it too late? I don't know. I'm not that. I'm not a doctor. I can't give you medical advice. I can only say anecdotally, because anecdotally is all I'm allowed to say it, that people who have used the horse paste, the Iver, and people who have used the hydroxy, they have recovered. That's all I know. As for right now, I would say one of the things I would take to make sure you weren't growing more. I have said it before. Zetox, Regal Zetox from the Regal company. Regal Zetox is zeolite that'll get rid of stuff in your blood, get rid of contaminants in your blood. That's what I'm using right now, just because they've also got spike proteins that they shed when they've had that. And um, as far as I can tell, not everybody got the dirty shots. They only some people got the dirty shots. So, and the dirty ones, though, they're going to kill you. Probably you're going to end up with a clot, nasty worm clot. It may not be too late. I'm not sure. Um, you can buy it at a feed store. You can ask your doctor. Your doctor might give it to you. But a lot of people just got it at the feed store. Yep, it's a horse dewormer too. But see, there is a human type, and you used to be able to get it, but now it's prescription only. So if you've got a nice doctor who will do that, ask the doctor. If you don't have that, you have to go to a feed store, and then you have to take, I think you have to look up, there are places where you can look up how much you're supposed to take. That's what people did. That's what people do. And I guess they tell me it tastes like apples. I guess you don't have to inject it. So, I don't know. Right. Oregano oil is also antiparasitic. That's true. And antiseptic. hmm Onions and garlic clean the blood. That's true. I got some, if anybody wants them, I got more than I was trying to buy. I got new boutique detox patches that you put on your feet and it takes impurities out. I have, I have, you're supposed to have them on like 5 days in a row. I put them on the first day and I could feel it sucking stuff out of my feet. Even felt like it was sucking things out of my feet. And I took that off and it was black. I'm like, oh geez. And then the second time I tried it, it was too. It actually I could tell something was going on with this thing. But somehow I ended up hitting the wrong button or something, and I got like a ton of this stuff now. It's something like $16 a bag, and you get like 10 patches. You get enough for one course. Uh, and they say by the end of that, you're pretty clear. It's worth a try for that price. I mean, that's a lot cheaper than a doctor visit, right? So, okay. So yeah, I got some extra. I'll send you if you need it. If anybody needs that, wants to try that, no problem. I guess I got it for a discount price because I got a bunch of them. So I got it instead of the big price, I got the smaller price because I got a bunch of them accidentally. I got like, I don't know, I got to count something like 5 packs of them or something. I know I won't need that much. Oh, liver, yeah, you need to clean out your liver. That's true. It can really screw your liver up to have, yeah. Yeah, so I got case pricing. Yeah. So yeah, if you wanna try them, let me know. Like I said, I'll look back and see how much I got them for. I'll just sell them for what I got them for. Okay, whatever it costs me. I don't want to make I don't want to make any money on you for something like that. That's something to keep you healthy. Um, but yeah, I could feel it. It did. My swelling went down too in my ankles. I'm gonna put them on again maybe tonight or the next day, but I can't put them on I didn't want to put them on one night after the other because it was just really intense on me. I react very strongly to things. They're called Nubu patches. Oh, you probably need to clear your blood. Yeah. Now, Regal Zetox, it's about 20 bucks. Averages 20 to 25 bucks. It lasts a long time. It lasts a whole month, depending on how you use it, and maybe longer, depending on how you use it. And it does a fine job too. It's another way to clean your blood. So after trying both, I'd say both of them work. I'm having, good results. I stopped doing the Ztox to try the new boot patches. So, oh yeah, well, shit, I would definitely be cleaning my blood out, Pam, if I were you. Um, okay, get in touch with me and we'll fix it up for you guys, okay? And I'll send it out to you. Please pay the postage, though. I'm not going to make any profit on you, but please pay the postage and I'll just send it to you. Had to pay postage. Um, yeah, Nubu is what they call it. Yeah. And I got, I think, 5 or 6 of them. And I probably never use that many. And I may have coupons too. I have to look. Usually they give you coupons with stuff like that. Maybe I have a coupon or something. I'll look. Yeah. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm cleaning my blood. Can't hurt you. Might protect you from something else even. But yeah, now they're saying it's a nanoparasite, and I have always said it's a parasite. It's got to be a parasite. Antiparasitic stuff. Also, the Ztox, because it will collect metals. Now, if this thing and we think it has a metallic component, okay? Because it seems to respond to electricity. Seems to go just nuts and when it gets zapped with when the electrosmog is high. John's noticed this. He's been monitoring it. John from Max Vision. He's been monitoring it. He's been saying it gets worse. He's noticed people get very much worse when the electrosmog is high. So that's probably what the 5G was about, was to activate this stuff. It was just a horrible uh, and very nefarious, deeply evil plan. all of it going together. I mean, think about when the 5D was put up right around the same time. It was all supposed to, and it wasn't just the disease itself. That wasn't enough. No, they had to make the experiment that made it worse. You know, it might have been like a multi-component thing. Okay. All I know is it's very nefarious. When the whole thing comes out, people are going to be shocked. It's already starting to come out, and people still aren't. I can't believe people still aren't getting it. They still don't understand. They still are not. There's people still going out and getting shots. I'm like, what part of it's freaking dangerous and killing people don't you understand? And you're asking your doctor to give you this shot? You're going out and getting, and anytime they have to pay you in some way to take something, you know damn well something's wrong with it, right? They were offering you all kinds of things to take this freaking thing. So you know something's wrong with it right off the bat, right? So, and it's funny because they went to a neighborhood. I remember I saw a video where they went to, was it even Fauci? Yeah, it was Fauci who went to a black neighborhood, a poor black neighborhood, in fact, crime ridden. You know, he thought he was going to talk him into taking this. He was going to give him all kind. Oh, we're going to help you. We're going to give you, you know, these shots for free, and you got a chance of getting this and that. And they were offering him all kinds of bribes. You know what they told him? If you're offering us bribes, there's something wrong with it right there. And then they schooled him on everything we talk about. They knew the whole story. They knew it all. And they put it right in his face, said, we ain't going to touch that shit. How do you like that? So that means that these supposedly poor black people in this bad neighborhood knew more. You know why they knew more? Because they got to know more. Because when you're not rich, you got to know how to think. You better think for yourself. If you're not rich, you better have developed your brain. If daddy didn't give you your first car and pay for your way through college and you floated on by most of your life, then you got to think for yourself, you know? A lot of us, that's how we learn to think for ourselves. We didn't have everything given to us. Right? Am I right? Of course I am. Oh gosh, James, that's good. I haven't checked mine recently. 50 is not that great, but at least it's better than a lot of places. You start getting 60s, you're getting roasted. So I think that's upper moderate. Um, so anyway, yeah, you got to be smarter when you're not rich. Actually, I'll tell you, some of the most idiotic people are the people who had money all their lives, who had everything given to them. Then they're going to be stupid because money can fix everything, except it ain't going to fix this. It ain't going to fix this. Not after you get the clot, you know, and die. I mean, sheesh. See, Pam, you didn't have this kind of clot. If you had that kind of clot, you probably would have died. I mean, myocarditis, where your heart flutters, all kinds of things. Young, healthy people getting it. You know that ain't right. Now it's coming out. Now. But we knew. See, thank God. Now the God of all, and I don't mean the mean old God of the Old Testament Bible. Not that God. We don't thank him. No, don't have anything to do with that one. I won't even say his name. Matter of fact, I just call him that evil guy in the Old Testament that was always starting wars. See, he was Inky's brother, and he was a war god. What do you expect? We were just pawns on a chessboard for him to have fun with. That's all we were. He didn't give a damn about any of us ever, and we'd get rewarded if we were good little slaves. And that's going to change now. It's going to change. Too many of us know who we are. Too many of us remember that we're God. Too many of us remember that we can create too. That dormant DNA that they're calling junk DNA, it's not junk. I tell you one thing, I figured this out a long time ago. It ain't junk. They're calling it junk to fool us. It's not junk. Just like the dark matter in the universe they're talking about that's affecting stuff they don't understand. It ain't dark matter. That isn't what it is. Nothing that they tell us like that is really what it is. They don't even, I'm sure that they don't even know what the hell they're talking about. They just want it to sound like they do. You know, they got to call it something, right? They got to call this stuff they don't understand. So they call it junk. No, I think buried in that stuff right there, that's where our godhood went. Yeah, I think that's where it's buried. And when that gets activated again, the game is freaking over. We're already getting some of our old abilities back. We have been. There's always been a certain amount of people that have gotten them back. Those people are called ascended masters. And some of them are monks. They have the monks, what do they call them? The sacred people of certain religions do have the abilities activated again, have managed to get reactivated. So it's not impossible to get all of those abilities back again. And that's why I'm going to have to talk about the masters of the ascended masters of the race, is because the ascended masters, there's been by now thousands and millions of people have actually ascended, have actually made the trip and have ascended, managed to ascend. So it's not out of the range of possibility. But there are masters of the rays, and they actually care about us and will help us because they had a human incarnation. Probably a lot of them, a lot of human incarnations. A lot of us got trapped here. So, so I'll teach you about the masters of the rays. The one that I know the most about is, of course, Saint Germain and Holy Amethyst, his mate, who Saint Germain came to me pretty early on in my studies. I found out about him, and he actually even showed up a few times. Not in a body though, or maybe, I don't know. A few times I wonder. But yeah, in my meditation, he showed up in my meditation on actually a lot of times. I shouldn't say a few times. He'd show up a lot of times. So that is the ray of transformation, the violet ray. Sort of like the color you see behind me here. That would be the violet flame there. So if you use the violet flame, it's going to transform things. Transmutation. Sorry, I said it wrong. Transmutation. Transformation is purple. It's actually a little bit more like you see on my face. It's a little closer to that, I guess. But anyway, oh gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Saint Germain. I said it wrong. Transmutation. Okay. Transformation is purple, the purple ray. And then there's also the indigo ray, the gold ray, um, the red ray, orange ray. They all correspond to the rainbow colors, okay? So, and they all do something different. They're a frequency of light, and there are masters that take care of that, that steward that. They're basically masters of that particular ray, that particular frequency. So if you ask them, they'll usually, if you ask in the right way, you know, in a respectful way, they'll come and help with the frequency of that ray, which I'm getting that I really got to get in touch with the one for transformation because I feel transformation, that's why I keep saying that. Transformation's next. Yeah. I came in on a Blu-ray. It's healing. But it's I'll talk about it at some point. The Blu-rays came to prepare the way for the indigos, which is very interesting because when my body was born, it was born in the Blu-ray time period. When I died and returned, it was in the indigo period. Was I preparing the way for myself? I finally figured out what happened there. Oh, are you taking off? Okay, Linda. Hope to see you later. Um, when yeah, I'll get this together. I guess I have to present that. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm gonna do I haven't given you the news there like that. Oh, and by the way, um there's a few other people. I'll have to round up the names and stuff. Tara by Isabel is a good channel. I think she's awesome. And I think her name is Allison Coe. Awesome. She's a hypnotherapist and does regressions on people, which is interesting because this is just the same thing that it's amazing what hypnotherapists, what regression hypnotherapists get when they regress people to between lives and stuff. It's amazing what they get. But interestingly enough, the stories do kind of agree with each other. So um, you got to give it some credence. So people getting regressed between lives tell us some pretty wild stories. But stuff that I would expect that sounds like it's probably right. I mean, sounds like it's true to me. Oddly enough, it's very otherworldly, and that sounds about right, actually. Okay, so dream well, Linda. Um, okay, I'm going to get us out. get me thinking about getting some sleep, but I got this stuff to do yet. And by the way, this is just tips, tricks, and hacks for playing that massively multiplayer total immersion holofractal learning game called Life on Planet Earth and has nothing to do with real life, which takes place outside the Matrix. Anyway, let's keep our bodies and our spirits happy and do our exercises, our expansions and our clearings, shall we? Because we're on the second hour, going on the second hour here. So it's time to do that. We've had the news now. So the news is lots of stuff going on. Just to make it short, exactly what I said was going on. Is going on. If you want me to do a reading, I will do a reading tonight. If you want me to do one on how things are going in the world, but basically, pretty much, they're on. It's on now. People are going to get outed, and they are getting outed, like pretty much daily. It's just we're waiting for the other shoe to drop for the indictments to happen, and quit playing around, you know. But we are going to get out of this, okay? Because we have a future. Because if we don't get out of this, we don't have a future. And I know we have a future. So we get out of this. We do okay. Because we have a future. I'm sorry, but old Earth is not going to have a future. You know? Old Earth is going to be done for. It's going to wind itself down. They're going to have to live with their decisions and learn from it, hopefully. Okay. So sad as that is in a way, but just think what a relief it'll be. Just think of what a relief it's going to be when we don't have to constantly press against that. We don't have to constantly deal with people that are just so clueless. Just won't listen. Well, that must have been in their plan. Far be it from me. It's a free will zone. Anyway, just glad I chose differently. Do you know how lucky you are to be you and knowing what you know? Do you know how fortunate? Do you know how blessed? Do you know how special you are to be where you are right now, knowing what you know? With the abilities that you have now, and with the abilities that you will have, even more so. All right. Get your spine straight. You can pat yourself on the back. You're going to have to do it mentally or maybe etherically for being so smart. But get your spine straight. And push your chakras all the way back to your spine. Snap them to grid right there so that they line up nicely. Okay. It's always good. And kind of start over from there. Okay. We gotta get some air. I'm gonna do the breathing first, even before the ohms. Let's do the breathing. I will count for you. It's a in count of 4, out count of 6. You can't do it with me now. You can replay it and do it. But I'll count for you. In breath, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 11, 22. In, 1, 2, 3. Out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last, in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a big breath and a big one out. Right? Air in the lungs. I'll tell you another breathing one that I used to use, and then I'd see visions. But you don't do it if you have high blood pressure. Don't do it if you have high blood pressure. This is not medical advice, but I wouldn't want anything to happen to you. If you have a medical condition, be careful with some of this breathing stuff because it can raise your blood pressure. If you don't do it just right, okay. When you hold your breath, it can raise your blood pressure way up. But this one it goes like this. I'm not going to do 10 times because that's going to take a while. And like I said, I don't want you to do it unless you feel like you need to do it. But it will give you a lot of energy and it will clear the way and it will help you see. It will help your pineal gland. Okay, your pineal gland, whatever you want to call it, your pine cone. It'll help your little pine cone up there, okay? Okay, and it goes like you take in as much air as you can and hold it and count to 24 and then let it out. And then real quick, you take it in again. Count to 24, let it out all the way out. Breathe it all the way out. Then take it in again, hold it for a count of 24. You do that 10 times, okay? You will be so oxygenated and awake. You will be so oxygenated and awake. I used to do this way more than 10 times, okay? When I was driving and trying to stay awake, when I was traveling all over the place, this was how I did it. This was how I did it. I'd do the breathing exercises to keep myself awake. And then I started to see things. My third eye really opened up at those times and so much happened. I got to tell you, that's probably part of why some of this happened. But I went through, actually, I was able to break the laws of physics, you know. So Uh, so I can recommend that one, and I should really do that more. Probably should do it more. Recamani. Maybe I will start doing that one. Okay, another one is remember your expansion. And your expansion is where you find the edges of you and you just expand it. And you expand it. And you expand. And you uncrinkle yourself from inside your little Abby and just let your little Abby drift inside your enormous, vast, limitless self and expand yourself out as far as actually you can expand out pretty much infinitely because you are an infinite being. But you can expand and expand. When you get tired of it, you can kind of release your attention from that. But the expanding feels good. It really does because we try to cram ourselves into our Abby, which doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It doesn't fit. So when I think of the imagery, it's just so funny. Okay. Oh, that does feel better. I must have really been trying to cram myself into here for a bit. Wow, that feels better. Okay, now let's now do our oming. Okay, vowels. See, that whole course took maybe only, what, 10 minutes? It isn't even that long. But we're doing the vowels because vowels, spelling is spelling. Vowels are at the top of the line. They get energy moving. That's what vowels are for. Consonants are to punctuate, okay, the energy. So bear that in mind. Notice that the ones that mean I, notice the way I makes you feel when you vibrate it. I suggest when you vibrate I that you open your throat up as much as possible to do that. You don't have to be loud. Just say the vowel fully. Okay. That's my advice. Okay. So, um, the next thing is sending your roots down. And this all just it takes 15 minutes? This whole thing that I'm doing with you guys, maybe take 15 minutes. Send your taproot down. Down, 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 down. Down and down and down and down and down and down. And down even farther and down past that and even past there and even farther than that and farther and farther and farther until you break out the other side, break on through to the other side, just like Jim Morrison said. And you should feel when you break out to the other side. You should feel space. Then you can take all of the loving energy there and suck it all up. Suck it up in through your taproot there and send it up. Head for the great central sun through our sun portal. Send it out through there. Some of it's going to stick to you, as you do this. And reach out and grab that from the great central sun. Bring it back. That energy back through, down into the earth, back down into your taproot. And let it build up. Let some of it linger in your solar plexus and recharge you. Let it come together in your solar plexus and recharge your solar plexus, which is going to recharge everything else. As a matter of fact, let everything get recharged with this, with an intention that all of our chakras are getting recharged. Our chakras are getting recharged with this energy, this very intense energy that we have going on right now. It is very intense. Don't be surprised if you have strange symptoms of all kinds. That's going to happen. Okay, I'm just going to leave that. Just let them get as much as they need, and then it'll shut off naturally when they're all full. And actually keep the flow going, though. I'm going to keep that flow going. Let it recharge every atom in my body, every little vibrating thing in my body. By the way, I just gotta thank you, and this is a new thing I guess we need to add, is thanking our gut biome, the good bacteria, and our mitochondria. We can't exist without them. No, our bodies can't exist. Let's put it that way. We can exist. We will always exist. However, our bodies can't do without them. So let's thank our mitochondria. Thank you. You got it from your mom. You got them from your mom. Everybody gets them from your mom. Thank you, little mitochondria, for doing such an excellent job. I know you're doing your best. May you flourish. Thank you, good bacteria, all of the different strains that are living in my gut. May you flourish and prosper, and I welcome you. Wow, I swear I get a thank you back from them every time I do that. I send them love. I really do send them love because they work really hard for us. Do you know, they really work hard to keep our bodies together, and people don't even know they exist. They don't know these little beings exist in us, doing that job for us, keeping us healthy, keeping our body healthy. So thank you. You're doing a heroic job in these times. All of you. And to all of you little cells and all of the consciousness. Thank you so much. You are really doing a heroic job in these times because it's tough. It's really tough on the body these times. Yeah. Thank you. So, anyway, that's wow. Okay, when you intone the vowels, pay attention to how you feel after. Just whenever you intone anything, whenever you tone, let the tone settle a little bit on you, you know, and feel it. It's very enjoyable. Isn't it wonderful that we have the ability to make all these tones? I mean, we really have a lot of ability to make a lot of different frequencies. Some of them I can't hear. I know I'm doing something, but I can't hear them. I've literally gone outside the range of my hearing with my singing before when I really was working at it. I knew I was doing something. The cat would look at me really funny. I was probably annoying the dogs in the neighborhood. But you can actually do that. You can actually sing above what you can hear, probably below too. You have the right vocal cords. I don't know. Mine aren't that low. Anyway, by golly, I'm gonna do one. Let's see what clearings have we got. Okay, I'm gonna do some clearings. Once again, I'm gonna take another layer of this off. What attitudes, opinions, and judgments do I have? This means you too. Do I have that I am not divine? Not really. That I'm not really divine. I'm not really God. Neither are you. And this is all just delusional because people will try to tell you. However, a lot of very smart people are beginning to come to this. Realize we are really God. We always were. And we are forever. We're eternal and limitless. But people try to tell us we're limited. They try to make themselves and us limited. So what attitudes, opinions, and judgments do we have that we're not really divine? We're just limited. That we're so limited, such limited, dumb beings, stupid, dumb, ineffectual, weak, whatever it is, whatever the issue is, all of those things. You can't do stuff. You can't really do magic, whatever those beliefs are. Would you be willing to uncreate and destroy them? I certainly would. Anything left like that, certainly I would. Okay. All you have to say is yes. Be willing to uncreate and destroy them. Okay. I'll run it. Times a godzillion, I know, uncreate and destroy all of that. Good and bad, right and wrong, puck and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Okay, I'm gonna run it again. And I create all of any of that kind of thing that's left. And create and destroy any of all that is left of that kind of thing. Anything like that, times the godzillion. Create and destroy all of uncreate and destroy all of that. times godzillion times a godzillion, good and bad, right and wrong, puck and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. But it's still not done. Everything like that, I know. Uncreate and destroy times a godzillion times a godzillion, good and bad, right and wrong, puck and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. That was better. Like something's really resisting there. Okay. That was another main one. The other one is what attitudes, opinions, just like usual, and you're going to have layers of this because it's so embedded. And guess who embedded it? Guess who probably started this? Same people that were oppressing us. So let's get rid of it. Another layer I'll take off. Or maybe a lot of other layers. We have a lot to take off. What attitudes, opinions, and judgments do I have? That I am worthless or unworthy or any of that. That I'm not important. That I don't matter. Would you be willing to uncreate and destroy all that? I certainly am. Yes. Okay. I now uncreate and destroy all that. Times godzillion, good and bad, right and wrong, puck and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. That went pretty well. You guys are getting better. Everybody's getting better. Wow. And me too. Thank you. We're getting better. It wasn't as heavy that time. Wasn't as hard to move. Well, we're at about the end here. Been on about an hour and a half. And that's about where I wanted to be for today. Tomorrow I got some stuff for you. I'm working on. Hopefully I'll be able. I'm hoping to get the everything done for the Ascended Master show, but I'm not sure if it's going to be tomorrow or Wednesday. And it's a moon day tomorrow. I was thinking maybe we'll do something moon related. We'll see. I tried to do some recording outside, but the weather's still very changeable. It was just getting warmer. It was warm today, and then it got cold, and then it got weird. It's doing its thing. Maybe it's still because of that thing passing by. I mean, I guess it takes a while to clear. But yeah, so we're gonna have some kind of reaction from that, I guess. Passing so close. Anyway, um, I'm very thankful to have you. I'm very thankful to be with you. So thank you for coming. Please remember that you are divine and you are creators. Please be careful what you say, because remember, as you speak it, so it is. You can create with what you say and what you think, because you're creators. And it does give you a responsibility to yourself and others. And I know it's a big responsibility, but I think you're up to it. Ah, James Ortiz, you're welcome. Okay. Truth is where you find it. Hope you find some on my show. If you want some new boo patches, like I said, I have some to spare. And I'll find out how much they were. And plus shipping, and you can have some. They're probably still going to be cheaper than this site. I'll see if I can find out how much they are. when they're not in bulk, bought in bulk. Um, Probably still going to be a lot cheaper because they still, I think they still charge shipping and stuff. I'm gonna have to see. Anyway, I'll check that out. Um, in the meantime, question everything. But please don't give up hope. We're so close. We're so close now. I can tell because people are finally getting out it. I can tell because of all of the stuff that's happening, all of this colors, weird stuff we're seeing in the sky. Take a look at that thumbnail. Square clouds. There's a square and a couple of dots and weird shit in the sky. Tell me that's normal. Nah, don't tell me that's normal. That'd be a lie, wouldn't it? Okay, I just took it today. That picture in the thumbnail, I just took that today. It's so weird. Like I said, just any day I go out there, I'll get something weird. And from that same direction, I'll get all these eyeball shape, all these eyes looking at you type shapes. It's really weird, man. I don't know what to think of it, but uh it's kind of cool too. So take a look at that thumbnail. Ah, the clouds are talking to us. They really are. They're actually our relatives. Our our uh our relatives are here. You know what? I decided I will go ahead and say, but I don't want you to get the wrong idea because people have been talking. No, you know what? The reason I don't want to say the different races' names, I don't want you to have preconceptions. Because people have talked about different ones. Like if I say Pleiadian, there's been all kinds of talk about this, about that, about they're like this, they're like that. Oh God. And if I say a reptilian, if I say a snake person, if I say a you know, Anunnaki, if I say, anything I say, you've heard all kinds of stuff about it. You've got to put that aside uh, and feel your way through this because only the energy signature cannot be fake. So remember that the energy signature, that is the only thing that cannot be fake. You can fake all kinds of other stuff, not that. So if you're feeling, no matter what it looks like, even if it looks like a monster, if you can feel the energy, it's kind of like this is kind of like Bigfoot. A lot of people have had very positive experiences with them. Some of them have a very loving vibe. If you're feeling that, go with that. You're probably going to be fine. Don't go by appearances. Don't go by what they say. You know, your detector may, and boy, may your BS detectors be right on target. As I say it, so be it. May your energy detectors be right on target. Abracadabra, abracadabra, abracadabra. Yeah. As I speak it, so it is. As I speak it, so it is. As I speak it, so it is. My energy decoders and receptors and translators are all functioning top level, top of the line. Okay, so be it. Okay. Okay, let people know you love them. I love you guys. Don't worry, we're getting close. This is not the time to give up. Not the time. It's going to look really scary. It might look it's looking, I tell you, there's some things that are looking pretty scary to me. I have to keep telling myself it's going to be all right. We know it's going to be all right. Our family's here. You're not going to let us perish. Okay. And it's not just the space people. There's people right here on this planet. There are beings right here on this planet that don't want to see us perish. So, but our systems need a correction. It has to be. Okay? Be thankful. The advice given is be joyful. Live your life. Do happy things. Keep your energy high. You don't want your energy to fall into the depths. You don't want your attitudes, your opinions, and your judgments to hold you back. If you need to say the pock and pot over something, say it. Okay? You know how to do this. You've seen me do it often enough. You can do it too. If you find something that needs to be corrected, correct it. Okay? Like I said, keep your energy high and things will go better for you. And the more that I affirm that I am God, and so are you, I'm divine and limitless, so are you. The more that I affirm that we are God, the better my life gets. Seriously. Try it and see. Love you. See you tomorrow, hopefully. About the same time.